Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. I am your host, David Dodge. Mike is out in the field today looking at some of our rehab projects. I have a special guest on the show today, Mr. Josh Culler. Josh, how we doing, buddy?
What's going on, man? Glad to be on. I appreciate you jumping on or having me jump on your show. You've been on my show, so that's why I went that way, but I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, no worries, Josh. I am happy that you are here. So I met Josh at a mastermind meeting, and he was doing some videography, stills, editing, all types of good stuff like that. And we really hit it off. He is working with a lot of the big names in the real estate industry, and he's also an investor himself. So I wanted to have him on the show and talk a little bit about what he has been up to, what he's doing, and also talk about some of the services that he provides. I think it would be a good value to anybody in the audience, any of the listeners, any of the viewers that are looking to grow their influence on social media, as well as just put together some really, really killer content. So again, Josh, thanks for coming on the show. How the hell are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. Trying to figure out how to navigate this whole COVID-19 thing. It's been helpful, especially like you mentioned the mastermind, but it's been helpful, being around people that have been through the, previous market cycles, especially 08 and even before that, 9/11 and stuff like that. A lot of my clients, like you mentioned, they've been through multiple cycles. I mean, I think of, a couple of clients that have been in it for 20 plus years. And just being able to tap into their brains and figure out, hey, what are some directions that we should be going in, marketing wise, but also real estate or business wise has been extremely helpful. But that's what I've been up to, is just trying to navigate this. And, this whole thing's kind of pushed me into a corner to build out this whole, digital business that I'm working on. And like you mentioned, REI.VIDEO, that's something I've been going after really hard the past couple of weeks, because I am a traveler. I do a lot of traveling to active real estate investors doing on-site video production, but that's, obviously halted quite a bit, but that's what I've been working on. Just keeping busy too.
I love the domain, man. REI.VIDEO. That's a killer domain.
I got to get REI.VIDEO.com. So guys, don't go there yet. We're in a bidding war right now. So
yeah, well,
just going back and forth to get that.
REI.VIDEO is a great domain. I love that, man. That's really, really awesome. So you've been primarily working with other individuals and helping them build their influence by putting together creative content. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that you are focusing on or have been focusing on prior to the pandemic that we're in the midst of? Today's April 6th, and this will probably publish in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So I'd imagine we'll still be in our pandemic state at that point here. Mm-hmm. And I'd imagine some things have changed a little for you, but fill us in.
Well, specifically, because I work with really two demographics. First one is the influencers, kind of like yourself. You have your podcast, you have your 90,000 plus Instagram followers, and going to get to 100,000 here very shortly. But
next week, baby. Next week.
Yeah, that's right. But you're in that influencer stage, and then I've got clients like Don Costa, Mike Hambright, Gene Garino, and plenty of other influencers that are more of like the teaching and education stage. And then I also work with the active investors. So one thing, maybe because I assume that most of your audience are active investors, or at least interested in actively investing, whether that's wholesaling, flipping, buy and hold, whatever, note investing. So maybe something I've been thinking, something that's been on my mind a little bit, that is kind of like making us pivot in some of the content marketing that we're doing for these clients. Before this whole pandemic's been going down, a lot of people, and I think we talked about this on my show, David. But a lot of people are going hard at acquisitions marketing. They have been for the past, I don't know, 3 to 4 years. I've been in this industry for 7 plus years. And when I jumped in, people were doing a lot of dispositions marketing because the deals were there was an insane amount of deals out there. HUD was hot, MLS was hot. Not a ton of for sale by owners, but a good amount. So there's
I love that you're breaking it down like this. So yeah. Keep it going. This is good right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that was the marketing that we did, was disposition. So we were going hard at, building our buyers list. I mean, I think that the company I was working with when I was their marketing director, we had built a buyers list because we were wholesaling in 5 different states in the Midwest. We had built a buyers list of, roughly 4,000 people. And that was anybody from landlords to cash buyers to people that just want to, buy a house cash and then flip it themselves and live in it, whatever it is. We built that buyers list and we were doing all of our marketing specifically for that. Obviously we were doing, acquisitions marketing too, but nowhere near the amount of effort as dispositions. Now, since that has transferred probably the past up to 3 years, people have been going hard at acquisitions marketing because it's easier than ever to jump into this real estate investing game now, because of just the source of information that we have and mentors and all that kind of stuff. And it's just easier.
Right.
So people have been eating up deals left and right, which is causing the market to shift from that. When I was in 7 years ago, when I first started, it was dispositions kind of trickled back into, I remember when HUD, like the faucet just got turned off. It was almost like, it almost felt like it was overnight when HUD just went dark on us, when deals were just almost gone. And so then we had to shift our marketing into acquisitions marketing. And that's what it's been kind of the past 3 years, 2 to 3 years, has been specifically acquisitions marketing. Now, I just had a conversation with a guest on my podcast. I interviewed him this morning, Paul Lizell. And we were talking about this, and he does all, he doesn't do any direct to seller marketing. All of his stuff is bank owned properties. Yeah, he buys, and then he does all dispositions marketing. Now his business has shifted and kind of evolved over time as well. He's been in the real estate investing industry for, since 2001. So what I'm seeing right now, David, is, previously, all this to say, the past year and a half to 2 years that I've been doing this really full time for active investors outside of the company that I actually worked for, we've been doing acquisitions marketing, which is what's been needed, right? That's what you've been having to go after, is to get the deals under contract, because there's more buyers out there than there are sellers.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there looking to buy properties. I think that after coming out of this pandemic, and this is, this is not my crystal ball. I've not been in this long enough. This is just what I'm seeing and what I'm observing from other people that have been in this and been through other cycles before. But what I feel like is going to happen is we're going to have this insane amount. I mean, we're almost up to 2 million we're almost up to 10 million people that have filed for unemployment in the US. And if we learned anything from the previous crash, I think the number is like 13% of people that filed for unemployment also lost their homes, which is where we came out of that boom where HUD was hot, right? They had all these, foreclosures and they were selling them. I think that might happen again. And this is just
I do too. I'm with you on that.
That's just kind of what I'm seeing. And what that's causing me to think is, what I want almost real estate investors to not stop doing, but do less of, is acquisitions marketing, and go hard at building your cash buyers list. Because I feel like because of that, we're going to have this just surge of deals that come to the market. And it's going to be easier to get deals under contract than it has been the past 3 years. But then you're going to hold them. You're not going to have any buyers on your buyers list and not know what to do with the properties. So I think that's what people need to be going after right now, is building. And specifically what my business does is we're content marketers, right? That's what we do, is content marketing. So, we don't do like web development, funnel building, stuff like that. We're focused on content, which is basically what is front facing to your customers.
Right.
The content on your website, your social media, like you said, Google My Business, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think people need to be building content, almost like a portfolio of content, like what you have, David. I mean, you got this podcast, you've got Instagram, and you're on other platforms as well. And it's almost like your resume in a way. And that's
it's your digital real estate.
That's exactly what it is.
I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking about a couple guys that are mentoring me, and they have right now. I pivoted 100% of my focus, not quite 100, but 99, like let's say all of it almost, over into creating my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I look at it like, man, this is my digital real estate. Like I already own a ton of real estate that's real estate, but this is my digital real estate. And you know, people are going in and they're searching, learn how to flip houses, or how to buy a rental with no money, or, you know, how to use a wholesale contract. And I know all these things. So now I'm trying to share these things, build my influence, so I can monetize that.
Right.
And once you're able to monetize their influence, that's some of the easiest money that you can make. And it's passive and it's residual. I mean, it's just the best. So
absolutely.
Man,
and
I love it.
Yeah. And I'm not telling everybody to become influencers, but in a way I am, right? So like, for instance, if you're a wholesaler, you're a fix and flipper.
Well, let me interrupt you just for 1 second.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to be an influencer.
Oh, it totally is.
I mean, you have to spend a lot of time, a lot of money to put out good content, to get it to be liked and shared.
It is.
For you to build and grow your audience.
Yep. Absolutely.
Audiences will grow organically, but they're going to grow very slow organically. So you have to light a fire at somewhere in the process to really get it growing. So, you know, the people that are influencers that are making tons and tons of money, you know, you see them now, but you didn't see them along the journey where they were putting in, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not thousands of hours at their trade and at their craft, as well as hundreds of thousands of dollars to build their influence. It doesn't just come overnight. You don't just wake up one morning and have 500,000, you know, people following you on all your platforms. You have to build loyalty and trust with these people to get them to want to, you know, to watch you and look at your crap that you're putting out there, right? So absolutely. So again, I'm agreeing with you. You know, not everybody has it in them, but everybody has the ability to, if they want it. It just takes a lot of work.
And here's why it's important. So let me cap off like kind of what you just said, and I want to go into another piece of this about being the influencer. So like, what I tell people is content marketing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Advertising is a sprint because you can get results like that if you know, hit the right lists, if you, you know, target correctly, if you build your creative on your ads, you know, correctly, that kind of thing, you can convert people just like that. So advertising can be a sprint, but content marketing is a marathon. Exactly the way that you just explained it is that, especially if you're going to grow it organically, you may need to light a fire underneath it, pour some fuel on it, on maybe the sparks that you got in order to get more fire going. But that's what it is. Like if you're going to become an influencer, if you're doing any kind of content marketing, which is content is what feeds your influence, because, you know, you don't have an influence if you don't have content. So all the YouTube videos, all the podcasts, the Instagram posts that you put out, it's all content, right? And so it's a marathon. It's a long-term play because you're building rapport with the people that are following you and, you know, latching onto you. Now, that being said, the reason why I said that I'm not telling people to become influencers, but I kind of am, is because I think of one of my clients, Michael Zuber, who he's out in Fresno, California. He has a brand called One Rental at a Time. And we do all of his, and actually maybe a good person to have on your show here, David, but
I know Michael, he's interviewed me twice.
Oh yeah, for sure. So like we do all of his content marketing for him. So we post all of his stuff for him. But what he always likes to say is, you know, the reason why I'm putting my content out is not just to become that influencer and monetize everything that I got going down. It's because if the market ended up turning and dumped out all the newbies, all the the inexperienced investors, the people that don't really know what they're doing, the people that are, you know, bidding too high on properties and, you know, getting caught with their pants down and that kind of thing. He said, when that happens, people are going to latch onto those who have experience and know what they're doing. And if somebody were to come to him and say, you know, if he wanted to, let's just say, for instance, he wanted to get a loan for a property, and a bank comes to him or a lender comes to him and says, how do I know you're not one of those newbie investors that doesn't know what they're doing and you just got dumped out of this market? He can point to his YouTube channel and say, I've got 4,000 videos talking about my experience for the past 15 plus years. Go check it out.
Yeah, they're all
That's the power. That's the power for that. And that can happen for anybody.
Yeah,
not
it's a
just
digital resume.
That's exactly what it is. So it's not just for the influencers. It's also for the active investors. So if you're at a property and you're doing a walkthrough, just video yourself doing the walkthrough and talk about what you're going to do with the mold in the ceiling. Talk about what you're going to do to the floors that have holes in the floors, or the bad foundation. How are you going to get that fixed? Talk about that stuff, because when you do, you'll be able to attract people that are looking for those who know what they're talking about, especially if the market goes in the direction maybe I just described it. And again, that's just kind of like what I'm observing and observing from people who have been through multiple cycles. Like I said, I just talked to, Paul Lazelle, and we were talking about this on my show. And, that's kind of what happened in the last, recession. And whether we're going through another recession or not, that, the numbers don't lie. If you hit a certain amount of unemployment, people are going to lose homes because they're not going to be able to pay the mortgage because they lost their job. And so that's going to go, houses are going to go into pre-foreclosure. And then, who's going to pick those up? It's going to be the investors. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I think that people need to be building out content, putting it on their website, on their social, even your personal profiles, and showing people that you are wanting to build this buyer's list, so that when the market, if it does take a dump, now and worst case scenario, David, if the market doesn't take a dump and it doesn't go the direction we're explaining it, you've got a cash buyers list that's a rock star cash buyers list. So it's a win-win. There is no lose in this.
Yeah, and I look at the audience as a cash buyers list. They're not necessarily going to be a cash buyer for a piece of real estate, but they're going to be a cash buyer for a product or a book or a course or an event. I mean, there's so many things, a seminar, a webinar. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you have the ability to reach these people, cost effectively or even for free after you have them on your list, they are a buyer. So yeah, Josh, totally agree. I love that. Let's talk about some of the products that you have and that you offer to your clients at this point, and how somebody would go about getting in touch with you if they wanted to, to learn more about those and or hire you. I know REI.video, I'm sure, is a great place to do a little research on Josh. We're going to put that link in the show notes here. But yeah, what's hot right now? You had mentioned, and I think I interrupted you. I have a really bad habit of doing that.
I do too. It's okay.
You had mentioned earlier that that you aren't traveling a lot right now, which obviously, again, we're April 6th, right in the middle of this pandemic. So I'd imagine that you had, when you were traveling, you were doing a lot of these live events or just going to people's places of business or home and just following them around and making really cool content. But now that you're not doing as much traveling, are you encouraging them to just shoot it and then send it to you for the editing, or, so on and so forth? Where do you stand?
Sure, absolutely. So the first thing I want to do, and first of all, thank you for allowing me to talk about this stuff on the show here. I definitely appreciate that. Man. That's why we're here. So the first thing is I want to make sure I'm providing value before pitching anything. So I have 2 podcasts that I run, and David's been on one of them. The first one's called the REI Marketing Weekly. So just go to the podcast platforms and you'll find it there. Type in REI Marketing Weekly, and got some rock star real estate investors, some of the top people in the country that are investing in real estate. And I just saw the list of people that are on my schedule to interview in the next coming weeks. It's insane. But we only talk about marketing in real estate, in your real estate investing business. We don't talk about anything else, just marketing. And so you guys go check that out. And then I have another podcast called the Content Marketing Playbook. So everything I've talked about with content marketing, that's all I talk about on that show. So the Content Marketing Playbook is the other one. We talk about shooting videos, we talk about transcribing videos, we talk about starting podcasts, all kinds of stuff, building out your landing pages with content the right way, and just about anything you can think of. So those are the 2 podcasts. And then, so kind of to cap off what you're talking about, my original services have kind of been, on-site video shooting for either influencers or active real estate investors. And so I'll go to their location, spend a full day with them, and in a week in advance, I actually sit down with them and strategize a plan for the day that I come in, because I'm not just your typical videographer that's going to come in and hit record. I know real estate and I know marketing. And so we strategize it. And what I like to tell people is I do content marketing that's driven on results. So we're not just getting brand awareness. We're creating content that's actually going to create a lead and close a deal. So that's the first thing I do. And like you said, yeah, this whole pandemic has put a big restriction on my travel. So holding off on that for now. But like I said at the beginning of the show, it's cornered me into building out digital services, which REI.video is one of them. So if you go type in REI.video, you'll find it there just in your web browser. Just type it in. And basically what this is you can shoot your own videos, whether it's with your cell phone camera, digital camera, whatever you want to shoot with, webcam, Zoom or whatever. And you upload that raw footage to the platform, and we can do just about anything video editing wise that you want. Unlimited revision, so you get the exact videos that you want, and 48-hour turnaround time. And so that's what that platform provides. So you can add closed captions, music, graphics, all kinds of crazy stuff to your videos, and that's what we'll do for you. The other thing, I guess, David, is that we can also jump on calls with you to strategize your content plans. So if you are a real estate investor and you want to utilize content marketing for your Google My Business websites, your social media stuff, happy to jump on a call with anybody to connect with them and help them establish that content marketing plan so that they can capitalize on what's going down right now and just digital marketing altogether. So if you guys want to connect with me, REI.video is the one platform, but you can email me directly, josh@cullermedia.com. Culler spelled Culler. So josh@cullermedia.com, and be happy to connect with anybody that wants to connect.
Nice. Now, what's Culler Media or Culler Media? Is that another site that's similar to REI.VIDEO or different?
Yeah. So Culler Media is kind of the mother brand, and that's kind of the brand I operate under when I'm doing these on-site video production shoots with, active real estate investors. And REI.video is kind of a sub brand for
Gotcha.
Culler
It's
Media.
more digital service.
Yeah. So it's more of that. It's just a product that is the video editing, product. So if somebody wants a single video edit, just a one-off, then they can go there. But if you're wanting like more of a subscription based style, kind of like Don Costa and Mike Hambright, we do monthly services for them, then that's operates under Culler Media. So that's the difference. But you can also visit cullermedia.com. The site is under construction right now. We're revamping it. It's going to look incredible. So you'll just be greeted with a web form, and that's just about it right now. So
yeah, awesome. Well, guys, you heard it from the man himself, Mr. Josh Culler. Josh, thanks for coming on the show. If you guys are looking to put out some good content, you need somebody that is a professional at editing and putting this type of stuff together. I know because I work with guys just like Josh, and I actually have a proposal for Josh that I'm going to give him once we get off of this podcast. But I highly recommend that you look at social media and driving content as building a cash buyers list. Josh brought this to light earlier. I didn't think of it this way until now, but you are essentially building a buyers list of somebody or people that are going to be interested in buying products from you, courses, come to webinars online, or even seminars in real life. So there's a lot of value by having these individuals be a part of your audience. And, other than that, like there's, it's not just that, there's more. Like Josh said as well, if you go to a bank and they say, what's your experience, and you have, months and or years, or in some people's cases decades of videos, or things of you doing this trade, that is your online resume. So I highly encourage everybody to start focusing on putting out quality content, and start now. If you're listening to this and it's mid to late April or even early May, somebody may stumble across this in 2047, who knows. But if you're listening to this, and it's, it's current pandemic or even post-pandemic, the time is now. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. The time is now. This is the time that you have all of the time. Once you're back to work in a month or two, nobody has time anymore. So now is the time to get the ball rolling on your content creation. Again, check out Josh, REI.video, or you can email him direct. And I appreciate you giving out your email, Josh. It's josh@Culler Media. That's CULLERMEDIA.com. Josh, any parting words for us, my man?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you having me on again. And I just want to cap it off with, if you are stuck on the video stuff or creating your content because you maybe think you don't have the right equipment or whatever, just understand, guys, that thanks to, platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all these other platforms, YouTube, definitely, people are more okay than ever with consuming raw content, unprofessionally produced content. And that is a powerful driver for content marketing. So start somewhere, just start. That's what
just
David's
start.
saying.
It doesn't
Just
have
start.
to be great. And then when you're ready to graduate and get somebody that's a professional to help you, that's a great point, Josh.
I've seen some of the best converting videos be just raw videos with maybe captions that we added or a video wrapper. That's it. And no lights, no massive production.
Yeah, you don't have to have much, guys. If you have a decently high quality camera on your phone, a nice phone, let's just say, yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
Cell phone.
Love that. Love that. Guys, don't forget that you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. This is going to be posted as a podcast. It's also going on the YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this, we appreciate you guys listening. Do us a favor and like this video and leave us, not like this video, leave us a positive review if you haven't already. I'm really trying to build these reviews. We put out a lot of quality content for you all. So do me a favor. Don't be a dick. Return the favor. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below and tell us what you thought. I love chatting with people after the show and listening to their feedback. So I'm dead serious. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave me a comment down below and we will have a conversation with you about this show. You make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. We are all in this business together. Signing off. Thanks again, Josh.
All right, see ya.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, please visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support, and remember, you make your money when you buy, and you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.